You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome to another podcast with Michael Lodge. Today our conversation is going to be about something that we probably never think about that much, and that's about our spirituality and in our business. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
So I'm down here full-time now in Palm Beach, have my studio set up. Love it here. Love seeing the blue skies. Love seeing the clouds. Love seeing the rain come down and the thunderstorms and the lightning. It can all happen in one single day right here in South Florida in Palm Beach. But it's a very nice experience. I think you would enjoy it. I was reading a article the other day on two companies, Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out Hamburger out on the West Coast. Now I love In-N-Out Hamburger. And the one thing that I like about it is that when you are drinking a Coke there, out of the paper cups, when you turn the bottom up, it says John 3:16. That's it, just John 3:16. Now, if you know what John 3:16 says, you know what that verse is. Now, I grew up memorizing that verse. And to see it on the bottom of a cup is just truly amazing to me. They're expressing their religious faith through their belief in work standards at In-N-Out. And they do the same thing at Chick-fil-A. They're not afraid to talk about how they believe. And I don't think that if you are a Christian, and if you own a business, nothing should stop you from talking about your faith. I'll give you a very good example. And I tell you, I think about this all the time. The other day, the memory was brought back to me. I stopped at a gas station, and in front of me was a Jewish individual. Had his yarmulke on, and he was standing there filling his car. Now, I have two experiences that I need to tell you about. And I got out of my car. I saw him. I smiled so big, and he smiled back, and I'm sure that he was thinking, oh, what the hell is this guy smiling so big at me? Because I remembered two things about the Jewish faith. Two things. And so I'm going to tell you both of them. One, when I had a healthcare staffing company in Los Angeles, I had to go down to one of the skilled nursing facilities where we had CNAs and we had nurses working there, but it was a union shop, and they were being attacked verbally by these union people. So when my staff would walk in, they would yell at them, they would say things that were very inappropriate. One of the individuals was so bad that we finally got him fired. But I went down to talk to the owner of the skilled nursing facility, which was two Jewish individuals, brothers. And I walked into one of the brothers' offices to talk about the situation that was going on. And when I walked in, he said, Mike, would you mind just sitting there for a few minutes? I need to pray. And the reason why he needed to pray is because they had just lost a patient. The patient walked out of the facility. Now, if you know anything about skilled nursing facilities, this happens quite a bit. when an individual just walks away, and then staff need to go out and find them. So I said, sure, go ahead and do your prayer. I will be sitting right here. So he turned around in his desk, knelt his head. I could hear him mumbling his prayer. Within 5 minutes after him stopping his prayer, there was a phone call to say, hey, we found the patient. And I always remember that experience, because in business it's very seldom that you have a client stop everything, hold your horses, let's not talk about this until I pray for that patient to find their way back or to be found. It's very seldom that ever happens. And I was so impressed. Because he had the will and the faith to stop everything to offer up a prayer. Now, my second experience with Jewish individuals is that when I was in college, I went to a private school, so I had to work as much as I possibly could. I had very little money to spend. And one of my meals every single day was cup of noodles. I tell you, I lived on cup of noodles. They were 10 cents a cup way back then. But I enjoyed cup of noodles because I knew I could survive and I knew I could go to college doing this. But on Friday nights, I don't know what possessed me, but I went down to a Friday night synagogue. And they had a big meal. And I told them I was going to school and everything. And they said, you know what, come back with us. We'll feed you. And I thought, my gosh, I don't even think my own church would have done that. They would have probably said, or in fact they did, almost, because they never helped me when I needed food to eat. I was down to one meal a day. Can you imagine? One meal a day. I weighed 125 pounds and I had a 21-inch waist. Now that has far gone away. But that's how hungry I was. And this synagogue took me under their wing, so every Friday night I could go down and have a Friday night dinner. I didn't have to be Jewish. I was just a friend of them. So I think that when businesses are willing to express their faith, you know they've got focus on doing something that is good, not just for their business, but for their employees and for the people that go to their business, that go to their establishments. I've seen this happen time after time after time. With people who have deep-rooted religious beliefs. I'm not talking about way out there. I'm talking about these individuals who have this spirituality where no matter who you are and you walk into their place of business, so if you even walk into their church, you are greeted with open arms. And I think that we in business, we have lost a lot of that process. I remember, I've had my business since 1984. And time after time again, I had people that would walk into my office and sit down and feel, you know, when I walk into this place, I feel as though I am home. Last year, during tax time, I had a client say, you know, the reason why I come here, because you feel like family. You are my family. And it's true. I always try to make people, because I have this deep feeling that whatever I do, I'm working for God. No matter what I do. Even when I go into mediation with clients now, when I go into mediation sessions, before I go in, I always bow my head. I always pray that I will be directed with my words, my thought, and my actions. And so far, it's worked every single time. I think each and every single one of us, no matter if you're believing in God or if you don't believe in God, you can still have this spirituality that determines what is good and what is bad. And that's what should drive us in our decision-making process, in our businesses every day, how we treat individuals who come in to work with us. And we should be proud that they decided that they wanted to work with us. It is. It's an amazing thing to know that people want to work with us because they feel as though we are family and we're going to take care of their needs. And the Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's what we have to live our life by. Now, there are some people who are not going to believe in God, but they can still have a spirituality of their life that tells them, I want to treat everybody with love. I think Ellen DeGeneres said it so well in the last few days, that we need to love more. We can be friends with people who don't believe the same as us. But you don't choose people because they choose to believe as you do. But you have an open relationship with people who believe and don't believe the same way as you do. Because you're dealing that relationship with love. And love is taught to us by our spirituality. Even if you read into the book of Buddha, he talks about love. And he talks about his own experiences, about how he was abused, but instead of attacking the abuser, he said, you know what, it's forgotten. The attack on me that you did is forgotten because that is forgiveness, and that is my love. There are lots of teachings out there regarding spirituality that teaches that love is the first aspect of how you deal with people. Now, in business, we have all kinds of experiences. You and I have lots of people, different types of people, different people with great knowledge, some with not so amount of knowledge. Some with etiquette, some with no etiquette. Some people who know how to communicate very well, and other people who you can hardly get anything out of them. It's like pulling teeth. But as long as they come into my office and they feel that they are respected and that I'm going to hear them, everything goes very smoothly. But if I come in with an attitude is going to be shown right back at me. It's karma. But if you go and if you study the owner of In-N-Out Hamburger and how she had a severe drug problem, and then finally she found Jesus Christ as her personal Savior. It's a wonderful story. It's an inspirational story. And how she decided that she was now going to give back through her beliefs and treat people with love. Amazing, isn't it? I mean, I never thought that I would be talking today about. In fact, I was going to rant on politics. But I saw this article and I thought, you know what? Forget about ranting and let's just talk about our spiritual needs and our spiritual beliefs and how we can incorporate them into our businesses, no matter what kind of a business that you're operating. It's up to you. It's up to you on how you want to treat people. But I tell you what, love and being able to talk to people with respect and to listen to people, it gets you a lot further. If you have any questions, send me a text at 818-252-5682. Again, 818-252-5682. And I'll be more than happy to respond to your text. If you have any concerns, send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com. I'll be more than happy to work with you. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge. Fully focused.